Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Yet, Jamie, another 1-0 game for the Texas Rangers yesterday.
They have played a lot of them.
Oh, my God. And went to the way of the Yankees as they won that series and beat the Rangers 1-0. Yankees get their 30th win of the season. They're the second team in the American League to get to 30 wins. The other one is Detroit. I think that's a surprise, right? For them to be playing that well.
Yeah, I mean, they were in the playoffs.
Sure.
They were a good team last year.
Sure, but
so
I mean,
not a shocker, but
right. But to get to that number this quick,
okay,
is I think maybe not. But the Yankees are 30-19. The Rangers are 25-26. So it's not like either team is just absolutely killing it. But man, the Rangers they get swept by the Yankees. Jorbit Vivas gets his first major league home run. And that was enough. That's a winner.
That was it.
Jorbit Vivas. Had you ever heard of him before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's hitting like $190 or something.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Jorbit Vivas.
The Yankees have had some health issues with their third baseman, so he's like their third one.
Okay. And it's just a tough luck deal there. But the Rangers will try again. They take on the White Sox. I'd say it's a beatable team, but man, they've even been playing a little bit better lately. Jeff's looking at me like
a little bit better than last year.
Yeah.
A little bit better than the Rockies.
A little bit better than the Rockies, right?
Chuck.
Yes.
I thought we were going to try to stop saying stupid things on the radio.
Why should we start?
I thought we were going to try to stop. I thought you and I discussed that yesterday. We should stop saying stupid things on the radio.
Well, that makes it less entertaining. But yeah, how about the Colorado Rockies? They lose their 50th game yesterday of the season. They've lost 50. They're off to the worst start for a Major League Baseball team, Jamie, since 1895. They're 8-42. I guess 8-42.
They're 8-42.
8-42.
They played 50 games.
They played 50 games, right? Yeah. Sorry. But still, it's the worst start in Major League Baseball's modern era since 1901 is when the modern era started. It's funny because with football, we always say, wow, the Super Bowl era, which starts with the 1966 season. Before that, you have to go back to the 1895 Louisville Colonels. They were 7-43 to start the year. I wonder if their manager got canned.
Probably a decent chance.
The worst team in history is the Cleveland Spiders. 1899, they lost 134. The 2024 White Sox, which was last year, lost 121. The 1962 Mets lost 120. The 2003 Tigers lost 119. Crazy that two teams in the 2000s make this top 5 list. And the 1916 Philadelphia Athletics lost 117. Wow. Man, oh man, oh
That's
man.
bad baseball right there.
That's some bad baseball. I didn't click on this clip from Tim Kirchin, ESPN's baseball writer, but the headline is, the Rockies' historic struggles are unhealthy for baseball. No kidding. Unhealthy for the Rockies.
Definitely.
Their general manager, their pitching coach, their bullpen coach, the water boy.
Also not healthy for their job security.
Right. 6:36 this morning here on the Morning Drive. So we'll have Rangers and the White Sox from Chi-Town tonight at 6:30. Balls and strikes at about 7:05. And as we mentioned half hour or so ago, former Texas Tech pitcher Davis Martin will face the Rangers on Sunday. And we'll have that game for you at 12:30, about 1:10 first pitch. I don't know if there's been any speculation yet. There's been discussion of it, but I'd like to see Davis Martin go someplace where he could win or get some run support.
That would be nice for him. I don't think Davis necessarily thinks that way. He would like to have some run support. Don't get me wrong, but talking to Davis, he loves his teammates and
sure
he loves being where he is and all that good stuff. He just hopes they get it turned around.
Yeah,
and they're improving. Like we mentioned, they're better than they were last year. Mm-hmm. There are signs of life with regards to their pitching staff across the board. The lineup occasionally has some pop in it, unlike last year where it was an anemic from the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. The reason I want Davis sent someplace else is not for run support. It's because I know who his owner is. And it's going to be low ball offer after low ball offer after low ball offer. I think the White Sox can win eventually. I would like to see Davis get paid for what he has done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to happen in Chicago.
Jamie would tell you that he looks at the standings from day one, and I'd look, but I really start looking at a Memorial Day weekend, which is this is that weekend, Jamie. Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
All
right.
So
I thought it was Memorial Day.
Well, Memorial Day, but
anything that happens this weekend doesn't really matter, right?
Get to Monday, get to Monday start, but the early glance, Jamie. Talk about Detroit getting out to be the first team that has 30 wins on the season. They're 33-18. But how about this for the Central? Looks like we're going to have some races. Cleveland, Minnesota, and Kansas City are all tied for second with 5 games back.
It's the best division in the American League.
In the East, Toronto trails New York by 5, Boston trails by 6, Tampa by 7. So that's competitive. In the West, Houston's 2.5 back of Seattle, Texas 4 back, the Angels are 4 back, even the A's are only 7 back. So that's way up for grabs. And even the Central in the National League, St. Louis trails Chicago by 3, Milwaukee by 5.5, Cincy by 5.5. And in the West, as good as the Dodgers have been, they only lead San Francisco by 2, San Diego by 3, and Arizona by 5. So very competitive races already. Nobody's really kind of running away from it. So that makes for good baseball and good interest throughout the summer for lots of teams, which is great.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Time for this day in sports history. Today is 5/25/23, forwards and backwards for a couple more days. Here's Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history.
What did you say today was?
5/23/25.
Okay, I thought you said it was 5/25/25. Okay.
No, that's we're gonna miss out on that. That's gonna be Sunday. Doggone it.
Yep, we're gonna sleep right through it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I'll be awake for it.
Well, but we won't be together. The three of us.
1935. First scheduled Major League Baseball night game.
Mm-hmm.
Postponed due to rain in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
1948, future Baseball Hall of Fame center fielder Joe DiMaggio, in the midst of his 56-game hitting streak, hits 3 consecutive home runs as the Yankees edged the Indians 6-5 at Cleveland Stadium. 1970, San Diego Padres beat the San Francisco Giants 17-16 in 15 innings.
Wow. I thought you were going to give me a Juan Marichal no-hitter or something like that.
Nope. 1991, Philadelphia Phillies pitcher Tommy Green no-hits the Montreal Expos 2-0. And in 2004, junior first baseman Josh Brady hits his first career grand slam to help number 25 Texas Tech to a 12-6 win and series sweep of the Baylor Bears on Sunday afternoon at Dan Law Field in Rip Griffin Park.
I was told Josh was at the one of the games in Provo last weekend.
Cool.
Yeah.
Were the White Sox or the Rangers in and around there?
Josh Brady.
Oh, Josh Brady. I thought you meant Josh Young. Sorry. I was like, sorry.
Happy National
clearly
Taffy
wasn't
Day,
listening.
which may or may not be what's in Chuck's ears. Before we get to today's birthday, big one tomorrow. Happy birthday tomorrow, former Red Raider football player Marcus Coleman. 51.
Man, one of my favorites.
He's right there in your class time period, too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was going to school when I was going to school. He, man, if you held me down, I'm my favorite Red Raider football player for all times. It's probably him or Kingsbury for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then he would have been your favorite defensive player.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kingsbury didn't play a lot of defense.
No, I understand that, but
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I don't think there's really any that I've Crabtree was another offensive player that I would considered one of my favorites. Torian Henderson, another favorite on offense, but I don't really have another defensive guy that really sticks out to me.
Okay.
Dwayne Slay?
Yeah, I liked him. Obviously, he was great, but yeah, I just love Marcus Coleman. He's a playmaker.
Today, Jewel turns 51, Drew Carey 67, Aaron Donald is 34, and everybody's favorite manager, Buck Showalter, turns 69 today.
Good old Buck.
And on this day, Chuck, pay attention, 1785. In a letter dated May 23rd, 1785, Benjamin Franklin reveals the design for what would later be called bifocal glasses. The Pennsylvania inventor, printer, author, diplomat, and American founding father had grown tired of altering between two different pairs of glasses to help his near and far vision. So he came up with the idea to quite literally split the difference. Franklin is widely credited as the inventor of the bifocal.
Nice.
And that was this day in sports history.
6:50 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Time for
Do I hear an echo?
lucky local winning word, brought to you by the Home Zone, making your house a home, over there at 50th in Indiana and Double T 97.3. We encourage you to go to DoubleTSportsNetwork.com, get registered so you can be qualified to win, like Carl Baumgartner did yesterday and Jasmine Franco did on Tuesday. Okay, you can't win if you don't enter, and you can't enter if you don't get signed up. And you can't do any of that if you don't go to DoubleTSportsNetwork.com. Your lucky local secret winning word for this 23rd day of May at 6:50 in the morning is Commodores. 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 Okay? Like Lionel Richie. Commodores. Okay?
Okay.
Were you a big fan of Lionel Richie?
I like this stuff.
Okay. All right. The Commodores fall in there too?
Sure.
Okay. Whether he's solo or that. Commodores. Let's see. Go to DoubleTSportsNetwork.com and get that entered in. Okay. Let's see here. This. Chuck and Jeff are painfully awkward. I don't know if I want to see y'all box each other or have lunch with y'all just to see how weird it gets. Well, I'm not a boxer.
They're not individually, personally awkward. It's when they get butting heads.
Sometimes it gets a little awkward.
That's awkward. Off the radio, they're normal.
Yeah.
It's when they butt heads.
See
I
how
would
like
never put me in the same category as normal.
Yeah, and like arguing over, and I sometimes think you guys are arguing with each other, and you're actually arguing the same point at times.
sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has to do with keyword there is not listening. Have lunch with y'all just to see how weird it gets. Yeah. It might be more normal than what you think. 6:52 this morning here on the morning drive. Somebody reports this: the Texas Longhorn softball team got beat last night 7-4 by Clemson. Okay, that's good.
It's kind of sad, the way it worked out last night. That the Longhorns were on right afterwards, and all of us Red Raiders had fun watching the Red Raiders win. And it was like, okay, let's watch the Longhorns now, and maybe they'll lose. And they get 2 batters in, and they go into a lightning delay. And I'm like, I'm going to go for a walk instead. So it killed their coverage.
Okay, go for it.
In Lubbock, Texas, we're like, we're pumped about softball. Let's watch some more softball. We're not waiting around 30 minutes to go do something different.
Go for a walk. Okay. Good for you. How long was your walk?
Not very long. Just took the dog for 30 minutes or something.
Okay. Well, 30. That's a long time. 6:53. Are you following the Big 12 tournament at all as far as baseball is concerned?
I look at the scores when I get an email.
Yeah. So let's see. Yesterday,
all the top seeds are in.
The 4 seed Arizona beat BYU 4-1. Kansas beat Oklahoma State 7-6. TCU over Houston 7-1. And then is that it? Am I missing something?
There's one more.
West Virginia. I missed that one. West Virginia beat the 1 seed beat Cincinnati 10-3. Okay. So today you'll have West Virginia and Arizona and Kansas and TCU. Oh man, that's a hard one for you, isn't it?
What's that?
Who you'd like to see win that game? KU and TCU. You rooting for the Jayhawks today? Does that make you throw up in your mouth a little bit?
I don't.
I like Brian. I can root for Brian.
Yeah, that's fair. I like how TCU has put their team together.
Okay.
I like that they've built their team not through the transfer portal, and so I don't have as much hate for this TCU team as maybe I do in
globally
years.
Of TCU.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I mean they've got some really impressive young players. So.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire, and Chuck Heinz. Great to have you with us today. Today could be a historic day for Texas Tech University and the softball program, as if they defeat Florida State like they did last night, they advance on to the College World Series of softball. So, man, one game and you're in. One. And it's one of those defining moments in your program's history, right?
Absolutely.
So they won last night, 3-0. Najee Kennedy tossed a complete game, 2 hits, shutout. Another shutout for the Red Raiders softball team. Timely hitting. Kennedy herself got a home run in the 7th and gives you an insurance run. She's now 29-6 on the season. Didn't allow a base runner until the 5th inning. So for Florida State, man, their back's against the wall, right? So
100%.
Yeah. So I mean, this is one of those deals where all the pressure is on them. I mean, there's pressure on you as well because you don't want to give them momentum, right? You don't want to put them in a spot
playing in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, play tomorrow to play for the right to go to Omaha.
I mean, you could say that the Red Raiders are in the catbird seat.
You could.
Sometimes the most nervous you get as an athlete, though, is closing things out. Mm-hmm. You know, when your back's against the wall, you come out kind of fighting, whereas when you're right out there on the cusp, especially when it's a first time and all that good stuff, you come maybe a little bit nervous. Now, the good part about it is you have 2 players on this team, Alana Johnson and Najee Kennedy, that have plenty of experience in the Supers and even in the College World Series. Mm-hmm. So those are 2 key players for you, and both of them performed really well last night. Johnson homered, and as did Kennedy, and obviously she was terrific in the circle as well. But surely that experience probably helps them, and hopefully some of that just confidence and not being tense or nervous, rubs off on the rest of the team.
Well, and you would think, too, that voice inside the clubhouse helps as well, right? In terms of them just being able to kind of settle the nerves of their teammates. Going, hey, we've been here before. We kind of know what we're doing. Just go out and play softball. Just go out and kind of do your thing. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to hit a 3-run home run with nobody on, all those kinds of things, where, sometimes sometimes in life, the things when you're trying to do stuff, when you try to do too much as opposed to doing it naturally, it's like swinging a golf club. You get up there and you're on your favorite hole and you go, God, I really want to just hit the what out of this ball, and you go up there and swing hard, and then it just dribbles off the tee. Right? Just dribbles off the tee. My father-in-law used to do that to my brother-in-law when we'd play golf. And my brother-in-law, man, he can swing hard. He can swing hard. And my father-in-law, he would get up there and he would just start talking to him and go, hey, swing hard, swing really hard. Just giving him a hard time. He'd get up there and he'd kind of get mad and swing hard. And
seems like a great guy to golf with.
Ball would just go off, a million miles off into the left and like be out of bounds or something like that. Let's see. This from the Yates Morning Center chat line. I have to either leave the office early or get my iPad tuned into the game at 2 p.m.
Have you learned nothing from this show? It is Friday. You schedule the across-town meeting.
Absolutely.
That's how you get to watch the game.
Absolutely.
I know this. Chuck knows this. Jamie knows this. You have to do this correctly on Fridays.
Right.
So
not everybody's a salesperson, Jeff, that they get to
schedule the across-town meeting.
Come up with those little plans.
Come up with those little plans.
Little scams is more like it.
Scams. Oh, there's scams now. Okay.
Well, are you not scamming your boss by saying, oh, yeah, I got a cross-town meeting, just so you can go home to watch the game?
I don't ever do that.
Which you always suggest people do?
I do suggest people do that, yeah. But
you don't do it?
No, not generally. I mean, there's times I take advantage. Take advantage is not the right words to say. I just happen to be in the vicinity of to be able to do what I kind of want to do from time to time. But at the end of the day, it's a performance based business job, and so if you don't perform, then it's right there. But if you do perform, then you earn certain liberties. Okay, certain liberties. All right. Thoughts, comments, Yates Morning Center chat line, 7:20 this morning. So the Red Raider softball team takes on Florida State today at 2 o'clock. Okay? 2 o'clock today. All right. I wanted to get to this and get your thoughts on this. Pretty historic deal yesterday, and I don't know how much fanfare it's gotten.
A lot of history going around lately.
Yeah, but the
historic stuff.
college football playoff projections. It will now be seated straight up, okay? So this is the statement from the College Football Playoff Executive Director, Rich Clark. He says, after evaluating the first year of the 12-team playoff, the CFP Management Committee felt it was in the best interest of the game to make this adjustment. The seeding model, first-round buys will remain, but they will now go to the selection committee's top 4 seeds, independent of conference championships.
So what have we always told you before about if things are going to get changed, what has to happen?
Well, everybody had to agree to it.
Somehow the SEC has to get hosed.
Yep. Or the Big Ten.
And it wasn't favorable for the SEC last year. I don't think this is great for the Big 12 Conference. I think it's the way it should be.
Yeah, I think it's the way it should be, too.
I think it's the way it should be. I'm in favor of this.
Yeah, it's not necessarily.
I don't think it's terrific for the Big 12.
It's like
or the ACC, for that matter.
I don't care about the ACC.
I understand that, but I mean, both fit in there.
It's like, every other bracket out there that you put the top seeds first.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Like shocker.
Yeah. You got to give credit to the college football really working on this bracket and making it right as they continue to invent the greatest invention.
Well, somewhere along the lines, and we don't know yet, but somewhere along the lines, whether it was in some focus, some place, there was a concession made to the Big 12 and the ACC for this concession that the Big 12
got more money.
Yeah, and the ACC made.
They got more guaranteed money.
Yeah. This from Jim Phillips, the commissioner of the ACC. He says this: today's decision was done in the best interest of the sport. Yes, it may not always benefit the ACC, but it was the right decision, and that's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Big 12 commissioner Brett Yormark said this. He echoed the statements. He said that he hopes what's best for the sport. continues to be the priority in any discussions moving forward. So there you go. So I think that's good. I think it's best like that. And you're exactly right, Jamie. I mean, it may not be best for the Big 12.
Yeah, it would have made it more exciting, I think, last year if we had, because we would have better matchups, and that's what we were looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm also really frustrated with how I know this is going to play out, and it's not just feeling like the Big 12 is going to get screwed in this, but it's the perception that the Big 12 is going to get screwed. How do they determine the rankings? Well, it starts with the preseason polls, which are, as we know, not looking at anything other than what they want to. Then you get the coaches poll, which is being affected by the preseason poll. You get the AP poll, which is affected by everything else. So it takes forever to actually figure out who the best teams are, which is one thing I do like about the college football playoff ranking, that they wait. But it's so hard to climb. And then when the SEC loses to an SEC team, that's just how tough the SEC is. When the Big 12 loses to a Big 12 team, well, we told you they weren't any good to begin with. And that's the argument we're going to hear in the fall.
It's for the best. It keeps it from being a schmockery.
Oh, it's still going to be a schmockery. It's just a different schmockery.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3, presented today by someone not named Jamie, is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen, we are going to switch to the professional ranks here. And for the purposes of this question, I am eliminating the Dallas Stars, who are playing in the Western Conference Finals as we speak, from this question right now.
Right now? They have a game right now?
Well, no. I
thought it wasn't until later tonight.
It is later tonight, but they are actively still playing in the playoffs in a very late round. If you want to say the Stars for next year, that is a perfectly acceptable answer. But who will be the next team, professional team in the state of Texas, to bring home a league championship?
Like the whole thing?
The whole kit and caboodle. Bring it home, the big one. You've got Stars, you've got 3 NBA teams, 2 Major League Baseball teams, 2 NFL teams. Who's going to be the next?
Yeah, Jeff is going full on negative here. I think you already said the answer.
You can say the Stars next year.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going with. The Rockets were the number 2 seed in the Western Conference playoffs and got bounced in the first round. Even with Cooper Flagg and being healthy, I wouldn't expect it just right off the bat with the Mavs. If I was ranking professional sports teams in the state of Texas, the Texans would be I think they're good, but I don't think they're still in the Mahomes era, so I don't think they're going to win it next year.
They're still in the Josh Allen era too.
Oh yeah, because he's won lots of Super Bowls.
Well, I think if the Chiefs don't get there, the Bills are going to get there.
Thanks for that.
And now we're done for the year. Thanks.
Yeah, so I'm going Stars next year.
Okay. I'm not so certain that the Mavericks are going to hang on to the number 1 pick. I think they might trade it.
That would be dumb.
Well, if they trade it, they're clearly, you would think, going to get something phenomenal that's going to help them right away, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
Giannis.
Right.
They would have to give up more than just the number 1 pick. But
they're in the win now mode, right?
I don't know.
I think Cooper Flagg could get you.
You don't think Cooper Flagg can score now and rebound now?
He's a college player. I don't know that he can get. I don't know that he's. I don't know that he's lake ready, Jamie, for the, for where the Mavericks are.
Okay.
A couple people off the Yates Flooring Center chat line have said the Spurs. I thought about that, but I'm going to say. I think the Texas Rangers win before anybody else wins again. I think the Rangers win again. I think Bruce Bochy's got one more in him, whether it's this year or next year. Because, I mean, the pitching is just, all they need is some bats. A bat. One. Somebody wake up. Because the pitching is there. Pitching is there to win this year. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say the Texas Rangers.
I mean, they could get hot at the right time.
Yeah.
I mean, if their pitching continues, you don't ever, like, sit at this situation if your pitching's near the bottom and go, yeah, well, if our pitching gets hot at the right time, because that just doesn't happen. But sometimes you get an offense that clicks at the right time.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they go pick up a bat somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure they will at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll make
the offense has gotten better under Boone. It's still not where it needs to be, but it's gotten better.
I think that was a cosmetic move.
It may have been.
Has it gotten better?
It has. Like, statistically, it is better than it was. It was really bad.
They had 4 hits last night. I mean, you and me and Jamie could coach that team to 4 hits.
I don't know that we could.
They scored how many runs in that series? 5?
I'm not saying it's fixed. I'm saying it's better. And all it takes, and I do very much feel like hitting is as the weather warms up, it gets better. And that's where I'm hoping that the Rangers are with regards to the offense, that it's going to continue on the climb.
It's not
forward.
like they're playing in an ice box there in Arlington.
No, but as time goes by, the hitters get better. I don't know that the Rangers is the wrong answer. I do think the Mavericks might be the right answer. And it might not be next year, it might be the year after. Assuming guys can stay healthy. You've got 4 guys on that roster that are really, really good.
Yep.
With the new draft, with Flagg coming in. I'm counting him as one of the 4. Yep. That it's. I'm not saying that they're the best team in the NBA, but they're going to be a team if they can stay healthy, and that's a big if for all 4 of them.
Anthony Davis is not going to stay healthy.
Again, big if. I also don't know that you're going to need Anthony Davis to be as Anthony Davis as he has been with this roster now. Again, I do think the Stars is a really, really good answer.
I only pick the Stars if the Stars don't win it this year.
Right.
Because they'll have a hangover next year if they win it this year.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah. I really do think the Texans are high on the list of best teams in the state. It's just that they're in this
There's a Mount Everest in front of them.
Era, and it's an easier path for other teams.
So who's your answer, Jeff?
I'm going with the Mavericks.
Okay. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. I'm just going to take this for what it is right here. The Rangers are top 10 in exit velocity and barrel percentage. They just have horrible luck and situational hitting. Barrel percentage.
Okay. I didn't know they kept barrel percentage.
Yeah. Do they keep that?
Well, clearly they do.
Yeah.
I don't think user Pyri would have made it up.
Do you use that? Do you use that in your Red Raider baseball analysis?
I'm not an exit velocity guy.
Okay.
I mean, every once in a while I'll mention it. I like the distance on the home runs. I don't need the exit velocity and the elevation. I just like the distance. Mm-hmm. That's really what I like. But sometimes when a ball is hit hard, it's interesting. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's not interesting. I just choose to focus on other things.
I think the Ranger broadcasters really like the exit velocity thing. I'm always hearing, that was 107 miles an hour off the bat. It's probably because it's right there for them, which is, I mean, I got to be honest, I probably would use it too if it was right there, because I think it sounds pretty cool, but
I don't think there's anyone that would argue with you that you would use it if it was right there in front of you.
Yeah. Seems like a bit
Quite
of a shot.
possibly when you're in the middle of calling a commercial break.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Whew, an hour away.
Let's go.
Let's go. Right. Be like a horse. You know, kind of get that thing to the finish line, right? Hey, good morning with
just like that.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Nice to have you with us this morning. We come to you from the First United Bank studio. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Hit us up there. Visual Edge IT hotline is open too. A couple people have suggested this, and I actually thought of this during one of our crash commercial messages. Somebody said, because we were talking about the velocity of off the bat and things like that, which I'm fascinated by. It's like the Rangers the other night hit a home run, and Eric Nadel was like, that was 107 miles an hour off the bat. And I thought, well, that's impressive. I'm really kind of captivated by that. Somebody said Chuck would use a release velo stat if it had one in basketball. And I was thinking about, the Lady Raiders. I mean, Adley Blacklock, her release is
quick,
very quick. Bailey Maupin's is pretty quick as well. But Blacklock's is really, really, that ball goes in her hands and it's gone, man. I don't know what the exit velocity is, but it's fast.
Quick release, that's important.
Yeah, quick release. Like, get it and shoot it and hit it and get it.
How many many Lady Raiders will return for this upcoming season?
I had that in a file. You got Maupin coming back, Blacklock coming back. You'll have Bird Martin, Callista Bird Martin. Now, I think the way that this goes with her is the first time you refer to her, it's Callista, and then after that, it's Bird is fine. But that's what she goes by is Bird.
It's kind of like you. The first time you're Mr. Heinz, but
I do not want to be called.
After that, you're HMH.
I just want to be called Chuck. Not Mr. Chuck or anything like that. Just Mr. Heinz. No, just
HMH. That works though.
HMH. What does that mean?
House Money Heinz.
House Money Heinz. Yeah, right. Sure, that'd be great. Yeah. No. No, not at all. I just want to be Chuck. Just call me Chuck. That's all I need. Okay, just do that. Let me look at this real quick here, because I had it in my head, and now I don't.
Hit it and get it was just not something I expected to hear out of your mouth today.
Okay, hit it and get it. I worked with this guy. He was an addict. Okay, and he Jalen Bristol will be back. Danae Fritz will be back. Bird Martin will be back. Adley Blacklock will be back. Sarah Sonogo will be back. Bailey Maupin will be back. Jada Wynn, ? I worked with this guy named Dennis Joyce. Dennis would drink scalding hot coffee, and he was a drug addict. Okay, and he would do this thing called hit it and get it, hit it and get it. And then he would scream at you. We're gonna spin these hits and stand up and jump around, So one time Dennis played the same song back to back on the radio station, and I was bored. Me and Catfish were probably sitting around drinking some Coors Light, and so I called old Dennis and faked like I was a listener, and I said, I said, I just won $25,000 from you. He's like, how do you figure that? I go, when this station signed on, they announced that if we ever played the same song back to back, and you got caught, that you would win $25,000. This was Superfine 99.9 KWKR. Okay, KWKR Superfine 99. Okay, and old Dennis, man, he fell for it hook, line, and sinker. And he was tormented by it, and I finally let him off the hook. But he went back on the air. Well, we just had this caller who said that we're going to give away 25. I've never heard of this contest. Nobody ever told me about it. He went on and on and on, and we're just dying laughing.
Sounds like quite a guy.
I finally let him off the hook. And then later his mother came up to me and she said, you really got Dennis. That really bothered him. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Joyce, but we're just having fun.
His mother,
yeah. But he would that coffee. I mean, it would be boiling, and he'd throw it down his throat. He's like, man, Dennis, calm those nerves, dude. 8:07 this morning here on the morning drive.
It's a great story.
Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line, hit us up there. So that's who's coming back for the Lady Race. But I did think about that exit velocity for Adley Blacklock. I thought that would be pretty good. Let's see. We've called the guy out and stationed by name. Yep, we have. Was the mom a stripper? No, she was not a stripper. Not that I was aware of. This sounds like a hell of an operation. It is. HMH could also stand for His Majesty Heinz. Yeah.
Yes, that too.
Chuck, is Danae Fritz coming back? As far as I know, she graduated. But I mean, she's still got eligibility. But yeah, as far as I know, she's coming back. Hope she's coming back because she's a good player. She was a good hand for you last year.
I feel like she got better as the season went on.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some that I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss Kyla Freelon, and I'm going to miss Logan Johnson because I thought they were both really, really good. Chuck needs a radar gun next year. A radar gun. What do you think they would give me one? Could I borrow one from Coach Tadlock? Needs a radar gun for next year for the Lady Race so we can track the crispness of their chest passes.
Ooh.
Sometimes we were a little off on that. Let's see here. The washed-up guy wants to know how the attendance has been at the Big 12 tournament so far for baseball.
Horrible.
And
I'll say this. Joyce and I talked about this a little bit yesterday. On the concourse area, like the main level, no food open. None at all. You have to really search for it all the way down at the lowest level, not the main level where everybody is.
Okay.
There's no food open whatsoever.
Oh.
It's like pushed down to downstairs at Rangers or at Globe Life Field, which is out of the way, and there's only a few of them open, which says to me, it really feels like, and they had all those areas on the concourse closed off. Like this move to surprise, I bet it was started by the Rangers. I bet the Rangers are feeling like we're getting no attendance here, we're not making money, and they're moving it to a different one of their...
Peace out.
Yeah.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet973.com.